Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hello everyone, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to episode 33 of Adventures and Mousecapades.
Or as our friend and former club host on the Disney Cruise Line would love to say, episode 33.
And now we drink.
And now we drink.
Today we're talking about the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and the return of it.
Yes, absolutely.
We were able to attend the very first one on August 12th, celebrating Halloween in the middle of August.
Yep. Yeah. The perfect Halloween mood. It's so
Yes.
cool and crisp and just fall-like.
Perfect fall weather has not arrived.
No.
No.
In fact, it was a dark and stormy night.
Yes, it was.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. So the Not So Scary Halloween Party starts at 7 p.m.
Yes.
It is a separately ticketed event. If you have regular park tickets, you will not be allowed in to the Halloween party. This is something you have to purchase separately. And there's a variety of dates. I think it's like on Tuesdays and Fridays or something like that is when they had them.
I could look this up. In August, it's Tuesdays and Fridays in 2022. In September, it's Tuesdays, Fridays, and most Sundays. And then towards the back end of the month, Thursdays get added. And then in October, it's Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, with a couple Mondays thrown in, including Halloween itself.
And as of our recording date, most of August is already sold out.
Yes, so as of literally the day after the first Not So Scary Party, so we're recording here on August 13th. Welcome back to, well, actually, oh man, this is podcast production behind the scenes fun. We recorded an episode yesterday that you'll hear in like a month.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. So I guess not welcome back. Welcome to our suite at the Grand Floridian. The
yes.
villas, excuse me. The villas at the Grand Floridian. We
Much
are
fancier.
Yes, we are using DVC points. So if you hear some stuff in the background, you may hear some ferry boats or some power boats out on the lake, or I think they're doing some pressure washing of the roofs and things like that. You may hear some odd background noises, but anyhow, that's where we are. But I digress. As we sit here today on August 13th, all of August 2022 is sold out for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, except for Tuesday night, August 30th. And then looking at September, all of the dates are open except for Tuesday, September 20th. And then all of October is also still available except for Halloween night itself.
That's an odd day in September to just randomly sell out.
Right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. The Not So Scary Party starts officially at 7 o'clock.
Right.
You are able to show up early and get into the park at 4 p.m. Just the festivities won't have happened.
Exactly.
Or won't have started. But you can still get in. So if you want to get in a little earlier and ride some rides, go for it.
Right. And we were watching the ride times yesterday, and right around 4 or 5 o'clock, things really started to die out across Magic Kingdom. We were seeing most rides were in the half-hour range. I think around 5 o'clock, we looked at the map, and I think even Peter Pan's flight was down to like 35 minutes or something like that. So this is a great opportunity to ride a bunch of rides with really low wait times. Basically what happens is you check in for the Not So Scary Halloween Party, and you get a special wristband, and then you get shuffled off to that kind of corridor behind Main Street all the shops on the right as you go towards the castle, and you pick up a trick-or-treating bag, and I think we got a pack of M&Ms, and they had a bunch of gold statues, like the 50th statues, but they were characters dressed up like as Halloween
that was
in
really
Halloween
neat.
costumes.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
And there's a when you go in, there's the double-decker bus that has a big, huge sign on it, basically going, "Go this way to the party."
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to usher everybody else out of Magic Kingdom who doesn't have a wristband.
Yep.
And so they're funneling you through that corridor and kind of back into Tomorrowland, that kind of area, as they're trying to shuffle everybody else and encourage them out of the park. You can get onto Main Street proper. In fact, we did to get to the merchandise line, but you have to go through, like, they have a bunch of stuff roped off, and you have to go through staffed gates. And you can go back and forth, but they're very, very much checking for wristbands to make sure that you have coughed up the $100+ to be there for the evening.
Yeah, the statues were nice. I wasn't expecting that. It was kind of cool to see that.
They're not Magic Band Plus
No, they're
enabled.
not Magic Band Plus enabled. They're just cool costume statues.
Yeah.
And they were giving out full-size cookies and cream M&Ms at the first candy stop.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
We saw a whole bunch of vloggers and folks that we've followed on YouTube and elsewhere while we were walking in. So that was kind of neat. And I will say it got a little ridiculous at the time that we were walking in. Like, it was difficult for us to, as normal people, just take a couple pictures and see what was going on, because everybody was staging for their perfect shot to do their voiceover to their live stream to YouTube. True. And it's like, okay, people, we get it. Let's go.
Yes. And we got there at about 6 o'clock. So we didn't get there at 4. We just wanted to go a little later. We were kind of tired.
Yeah, we were waiting for things to cool down.
Yeah.
I think we took a nap yesterday afternoon.
Yep.
We had lunch at Steakhouse 71 and then took a nap and kind of took it easy and then
headed over.
Yeah.
So with most every event, Disney offers some sort of merchandise.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get merchandise.
Sure. We collect pins.
We collect pins. We collect event pins.
Yes.
I do more than anything else. So if it has a year on it or a special thing, I want to get those.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably around 7:15 when we decided to walk over.
No, I don't
way.
think it was. I think it was earlier than that, because there were still regular park attenders in the park. I think we headed that way to the merch line at like 6:30.
Okay.
And the merch line started at Casey's Corner.
Yep.
And went along the sidewalk of the shops on the mercantile side, all the way to the front of the park.
It wrapped around to the front
entrance
part of the Emporium, like kind of right next to, is that Bippity Boppity Boutique? Or the barber shop? Yeah. It wrapped all the way around there and went to that entrance.
It was insane.
It was a long line. And I wish I had checked what merchandise was available before I got in that line. Because I did not know that they were not selling pins. This was, I guess, my own fault for not looking up what they had online.
Yeah.
Because I was in line for pins.
Yeah.
They did not have pins.
And I assume that's what you were there for.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you texted and said, hey, no pins, like my heart sank. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were in line for like an hour.
It was about an hour.
Ugh.
Yeah. My knees and my feet were not happy with me.
Yeah.
I got the kids' shirts. They're purple. They're really cute, and they glow in the dark. They had exclusive jerseys for the Halloween party, but they're orange. I did not like them. I made a mention to one of the cast members, and she's like, but it's Halloween. I'm like, but I have red hair. It's, oh well. They also had a bowl for the event and a Christmas ornament, because that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. You know, it's a Halloween party, so of course we need a Christmas ornament.
I did get the Christmas ornament.
Shocker.
We have a Disney tree. We have to, yeah.
Yeah, we have to populate it.
It shows that we've been there, right?
Exactly. Yes, it shows the back wall of the living room that we have attended this thing.
My knees and my feet were very much not happy with me after that, and I had to get a scooter to ride on because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand anymore, and it was just hurting.
And about halfway through the wait, Sterling and I took off.
Yeah.
And we went to go find, because Sterling was just bored out of his gourd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't expecting the wait.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we decided he just got his expanders out and has retainer, but his orthodontist was super nice and said, I know you're going to Disney World. You can not wear your retainer while you're at the parks. It's fine. And so I said, hey, Sterling, you want to get some popcorn? And he's like, yes. So we went to get popcorn, and we went to there's a popcorn and snack stand that's over on the Tomorrowland side of the hub, back towards the castle. And the line wasn't too long. It was, I don't know, maybe 15 people deep. It was going really slow, but I wasn't really thinking of anything about it. We just kind of stood in line, and Sterling was doing his dance moves to
jamming to the music.
All the soundtrack. They have all sorts of Halloween themed songs that they do and stuff like that. And then we get up towards the front of the line, and I realize, oh, it's the Mickey Mouse Mummy special, like Halloween popcorn bucket.
Yes.
These things are epic.
And it glows in the dark too.
And so I accidentally got 3 of them.
Accidental.
Oops.
Oh no, that's going to be fun to get home.
No, we'll cross that bridge later. The interesting thing is the cast member who was selling to me, because I initially said, hey, I'd like to get 3 and 3 waters. And she said, I can only sell you 2 because it's a limit of 2 per party. And I said, I kind of thought to myself, like, that's weird. What if I had a family of 6? I can only get 2 popcorn buckets. That seems odd, but whatever. Like, I wasn't going to push back or anything. And then while I was standing there waiting, one of the managers came up and put a couple other additional, like little acrylic like signs up on top of the food cart there, up above the checkouts, and one of them had the popcorn bucket on it, and it said limit 2 per guest. And so I said, hey, is it 2 per person or 2 per guest?
Per party or per guest?
Exactly. Excuse me, 2 per party or 2 per guest? And she was like, I thought it was party. And then she turned around and asked her manager, and he clarified, no, it's guest. And so I got a 3rd one. They're incredibly cute. They will do yeoman's work in assisting us decorating our house for Halloween.
Yes.
They will be used.
They will be used.
For sure.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so we have
popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went around so Sterling could get some of the Magic Band statues, right?
Yeah. We had a couple of the photography points that were out there, and he got a bunch of the Magic Band Plus statues where you go up and wave, and he's keeping track on his app on this phone of how many statues he's got and what he's missing and all the rest of that stuff. There were people, this was at around, we'll say 6:30 or 7. Well, yeah, it was about 7 o'clock maybe.
Yeah.
There were people already camped out in and around the hub waiting for the evening entertainment shows.
The stage show was scheduled, the first one was scheduled for 8:35.
Okay.
So there were people there waiting
An hour to an hour and a half before that.
Yeah.
And they were all standing and leaning up right against the walls of the hub, which is where all the golden 50th statues are.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just us, but there's people like trying to make our way through and like go see the statues. And they're like, what do you mean you want me to get out of your way for a second? I'm like, well, you're standing in front of an attraction. Yeah. It's a little weird. I don't understand. Like, I get people want to see the entertainment or see a thing, but I mean, you're only there for so long. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
Why would you spend 2+ hours waiting for something?
Yeah. And there really is so much to do at this party. They have a stage show called the Hocus Pocus Villain Spelltacular. That was on the castle stage. There's the Boo to You Halloween Parade. They do that a couple of times a night as well. The stage show they do, I think, 3 times a night.
Okay.
There are the fireworks, the Not So Spooky Spectacular is what it's called. And then they have various dance parties across the park, 3 different areas. There's also character meet and greets, and these are themed a little differently. Characters are dressed up in their costumes. You also have some rarer characters that will come out during these for meet and greets. We saw Stitch Elvis.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
That was pretty awesome.
The line for that started way before the event even opened up.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we got in, we went over to the Tomorrowland area to try and figure out what it is that we wanted to do. And the line looked like it was probably already at an hour long.
Yeah.
And this was probably around 6:15 or so.
Yeah. We did ride Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, that's right.
Astro Blasters.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Boy, the Toy Story Mania kicks that ride's butt because you have no idea where your little laser dot is shooting.
Yes, this is true.
It's
still fun, though.
It is fun. It is fun.
Yes, so we did that. That was one of the first things that we did when we got in. And after that, we sat down, tried to figure out, or no, scratch that, reverse it. We sat down, figured out what we were going to do. We were going to go on the People Mover, but the line was really long.
Yeah.
And then we saw that the Astro Blasters was like 20 minutes. Like, oh, let's just go there.
Yeah.
And that's when we saw Stitch dressed up like Elvis.
Yes. And then you went to the merch. Well, we all went to the merch line. We bailed a little bit early.
Yep.
Yes. Hilarity ensued.
Yeah. There are also a lot of areas where you can get your photos done, where there's Disney PhotoPass locations. And they do magic shots specifically for the party, where they will do just add little extras to the photos that you do. I think so. I saw that you and Sterling did a couple of them, and like one of them, Sterling has a flaming pumpkin in his hand.
Yeah. Things
like that. And there are treats all over the park. You can do trick or treating, and we didn't do a lot of trick or treating. I think went to one other spot, and the cast members saw that we only had one thing in our bags, and they're like, what is going on here? And they basically just filled all of our bags.
Yes.
It was so awesome.
Literal, like, scooping handfuls of stuff out of their candy buckets and just, like, dropping it in our bags. So it's like, sweet.
One of the other things that is really neat for the Halloween party is there are a couple of rides that they do something a little extra on.
Yes.
And we got to take part in 2 of those. Sterling and I went over to Space Mountain, which becomes Deep Space Mountain. And it's basically no lights, nothing at all. When you get on the rocket, it turns around the little corner, no lights from then on. There's nothing. And it was so fun. It was so cool. You could see there's like the little red, I think they're cameras or something. You can see the ring of lights from the cameras, and you can see an exit light here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there is nothing. And
was it a different soundtrack? Or is it just kind of the same?
No, I think it was the same.
Okay.
Was there a soundtrack?
Oh.
I do remember there being music.
Okay.
I didn't pay that much attention to it.
Okay.
I was just having a blast. Sterling was screaming his head off. He sounded terrified, But I think that's just what he does when he's on a ride. Like, he really sounded terrified. Afterwards, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, that was so much fun. I was like, okay. But yeah, no lights at all. Like, even when you're going up the ramp for it,
Yeah.
nothing.
That's cool.
That was a lot of fun. And let's see, the other rides that had a Halloween twist were the Mad Tea Party, which we did not do, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, which we did not do, and Pirates of the Caribbean, which we did do.
Yeah, we did.
So Pirates was really neat. They had live actors in there talking with people, basically.
Yeah.
We got in and we're going through the queue, and kind of right near the beginning of the queue, there's
like a jail cell, but it's like sunken in the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sterling went up and started interacting with the pirate who was in jail there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was recording it, and I only got like the back part of it. But it was hilarious.
It was very funny. So the pirate was basically asking, he was asking the party before us if they would help him find a treasure, and then they'd split it like 50-70 or some weird number like that. And
then he counter offered because they weren't going to take, I think he offered 60-40.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, tell you what, you find it, I'll go get it, and I'll give you 70% of whatever I let you have. Or whatever I tell you I found.
Yeah, whatever I tell you I found. Yeah. And then they left, and Sterling kind of went up really close, crouched down in front, and he said, I'll give you all of it. And the guy's like, what? Like, he wasn't expecting this at all. He's like, why would you do that? And Sterling's like, well, I don't need it. Pirate's like, what, are you rich or something? And Sterling's like, no, but I don't need it. And they had this little conversation and all sorts of stuff. And the pirate asks, he's like, well, what do you have that I don't? And Sterling goes, a life. And then got up and walked away. I'm like, oh my gosh. Wow.
Yep, that's our Sterling.
And the pirate was he was speechless for a second. He's like, well, I don't think I like you anymore.
He had a good chuckle.
Yes.
I mean, it was all in good fun.
Yes, it was very funny. Like they had a little bit more of a conversation before all that. But
yeah.
Yes, it's like, oh man, that was quite the burn right there. Got on the ride, and there were 3 live actors on the ride itself.
Mm-hmm.
There was one over by where Barbossa is bombarding the city.
Yes. Just past the pirate ship and everything.
And he was adding quips onto Barbossa's speaking.
Yes.
I got soaked by a cannonball, by the way. Right there.
Wah, wah.
Yes. And then the other spot is where it's the burning city scene.
And they were on the bridge.
They were on there's like a bridge kind of near the beginning of the scene.
Yep.
It was Lad and Lassie pirate up top, and they were basically talking about wanting to borrow a boat, and Sterling's like, come on in, jump in, we've got plenty of room. And he was like waving them down, and we went underneath the bridge, and then we turn around and they're still there, like they flipped around and were still talking to us. I think they were they loading an empty boat in between each?
Yes, they were only
help with. Okay,
they were only sending every other boat with people in it to give the actors more time to interact with folks, and it was effectively a walk-on.
Yeah,
like it was fun. It's not like they were hurting for capacity last night. At least when we went, The schedule last night got all cattywampus because there was storms in the area, and the fireworks got delayed by like 20 minutes or so. It was still raining, but they sent them off anyway. It wasn't raining really hard. It was just kind of drizzling and stuff, but it had rained pretty bad, and there had been lightning in the area. Yeah. And so everything got all dysfunctional, I guess, or not dysfunctional, but just it wasn't quite as organized as it normally would have been. And so we wound up hitting the Pirates ride when the parade was getting going.
Yeah, so I think that was probably around 11,
Yeah, somewhere in there.
11:15. I think the parade started at 11:15, so we were hitting it right around 11. Yeah, I think. Yeah, but that was really fun to see.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot with just the additional character interaction. That was nice. One of the things that I did for this party was I saw that there were dessert party options available. And I saw that they offered additional spots for viewing fireworks. There are two different tiers to this. There's the Tomorrowland Terrace seating, and there was the Plaza Garden viewing area seating for the Tomorrowland Terrace dessert party. And we haven't sat and watched a fireworks show in a very long time.
I don't know if we've ever done it really with Sterling.
Yeah. And I wanted to do that. And I knew it was going to be the first night. It was going to be a madhouse.
Yep.
I'm just going to spend the extra money, get a dessert party, get the plaza viewing, because I know that's a great viewing for the fireworks.
Yeah.
And so I just did that.
Yeah.
This was not a horrible experience.
No, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was desserts and everything in the Tomorrowland Terrace, which was really nice because we headed over there. I think we had like 8:45 reservations or something like that.
Yeah.
We got there a little early, around like 8:15 or 8:20, because it was just starting to rain.
Yeah.
And I had my eye on the radar, and I was like, oh.
It's about to pour.
It's about to pour,
Yes.
and it's going to be really difficult for us to move around and get around. So let's go early. And it was fantastic. We had seating up there.
Yep.
It was covered. I wish that area had ceiling fans. It doesn't. It's like one of the only places in the park that doesn't have ceiling fans. And it was stuffy there and back. Even after the storm went through, if I walked over towards kind of the more open side of it, I could feel the breeze moving through. But if I went, 20 feet back to where our table was, it was.
I think if we did something like that again, now that we know what the airflow is like there, we'd request something a little bit closer to where the railing is.
Yeah.
We were along the back wall.
Yeah.
No air movement at all.
Yeah.
And there's two different tiers to the Tomorrowland Terrace dining area.
Right.
They had us up on the upper tier. The other tier was where the other dessert party seating was. And I believe for that, they basically had a table and got to sit there for the fireworks viewing. You don't really get to see the front of the castle as well. It's kind of an offset view of the castle. But you're right there. You don't have to get up and move to watch the fireworks.
It's a trade-off, but we were covered. So
we were covered,
it was nice.
Yes, the desserts were delicious.
Yeah, the desserts were fantastic. They had all sorts of puddings and mousses and cookies and all sorts of other good stuff. They had open bar, basically beer, wine. And that's when Alicia, we were there for a little bit, had some snacks and everything. Alicia and Sterling went to go do Space Mountain from there. I stayed with my 3 Mommy Mickey friends just because logistically it was way easier for me to stay with the stuff and then let them go do that ride. And that actually worked out really well. Yeah. And then when the lightning hold and everything was released, cast member came through and let us know that. And that was about 10-ish, a little after 10 o'clock. The fireworks were supposed to go at 10:15, but everything was on hold until, I think Disney pulled all their cast members out of open spaces up until like 10:05 is when they got the code 102 is the thing that I heard thrown around, allowing them to go back outside. And that's when, so basically we were escorted from that area in Tomorrowland Terrace out into the plaza area next to the hub or near the hub, behind the hub. I don't know. Behind into this. Anywho, doesn't matter. We had a great, fantastic spot,
Yes.
right up against a railing with shrubberies and things
Yep.
like that in front of us. So we really had a fairly unobstructed view.
Mm-hmm.
I had a tall shrub a little bit in front of me that was hiding part of the castle, but Alicia didn't have that in her way.
Yep.
Fantastic view of the fireworks. It was great.
Yeah.
And that show was really good.
Yeah. I don't know if we can post the show or not. We can try to.
We'll try to. And
Yeah.
we have this whole YouTube channel that we haven't posted anything to,
Yes.
so we'll see what we can do. We definitely got a bunch of pictures
Mm-hmm.
from some of the fireworks and everything. And it was fun.
It was great. I love being able to see all the projections on the castle, just the story that they tell.
Yeah.
It was definitely not so scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the other just regular fireworks shows get a little scarier than that one.
Yeah, agreed.
But
Very much agreed.
it was nice. The fireworks were just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was drizzly a little bit, but not too bad. And so we did the fireworks. We went, and that's when we moseyed on through to get to Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
We wound up going right in front of the stage in front of the castle.
Yeah.
And had an amazing photo shot right there of the castle,
itself.
all lit up in its Halloween regalia, if you will. That was really cool because I think there was supposed to be a stage show. It was supposed to be the fireworks show at like 10:15, a stage show at 10:45, and then the parade at 11:15. I don't know if that last stage show ever happened. If it did, it was a lot later. Because when we were going through, they were trying to reset the stage. They had giant squeegees out getting the water off of it. They had fans up trying to dry it off so the dancers weren't going to slip and fall and break a knee and things like that.
I wonder if they just canceled the middle show. They had 3 shows.
Yeah, maybe.
The last one was at midnight.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's what they did then.
Yeah, we weren't able to see the stage show.
No.
It's okay.
It is okay.
I thought it was kind of odd that there were no cast members directing traffic.
Yeah.
When we were out trying to get over to Adventureland.
Well, I wonder if they just weren't prepared for that middle show right there to be canceled.
Yeah.
They were probably expecting everybody to just kind of stay put in that front section.
But even if they have the show there, they still have to direct traffic because there's people that aren't going to be stopping for the show.
That's a good point.
Still need to get around.
That's a good point.
So I couldn't see any cast members directing traffic. So I was like, I'll just kind of go this way. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little. We made it work.
Yeah, we made it work. We got over to Adventureland kind of a roundabout way, but we made it over there.
Yeah, because everybody was getting set up for the
parade.
Mm-hmm. So it made it a little fun to get around, but we were able to get through.
Yep.
And I love that the cast members, especially when we got over towards Adventureland, like they made sure that there were paths and that we could get, like everybody could get through. Like they do a really good job of that crowd control.
Yeah.
And then I think kind of we came out of Pirates. That's when we did the trick or treating after that, and they took pity on us and just dumped heaps and heaps of candy.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of done. It was midnight at that point.
Yep.
It had been
Just about,
a long day. We were just tired.
Yeah.
I think we were just done.
I think I have realized that as much as we want to go like we have in the past.
Yeah.
We have grown in age and in size, and our minds and our bodies just will not let us do that anymore.
Yeah, at least at this time. We have some serious shaping up to do.
Yes. We still had so much fun, though.
We did.
We did not take part in any of the special treats that were offered,
right.
though. I think having the dessert package kind of just nixed that.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about the dessert package. Like I got a couple beers out of it. I got a couple it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the reserved seating, it was good.
They had some nice, so the specialty food and beverage that they had for this were the Gravedigger milkshake, this one actually sounded really good. I kind of wanted to try it, which was at Sleepy Hollow. It's made of coconut and matcha milkshake topped with mixed berry whipped cream, gravedigger shovel, and chocolate gravestone.
Wow. Now, I saw a picture of that from somebody on Instagram.
Yeah.
The real product that they were shipping out the door did not look good. It did not look like the
Yeah, I saw a couple. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it tasted fine, but it didn't quite come out in at scale the way I think they had envisioned it.
The other items that they had, let's see, they had the worms and dirt funnel cake. This one looked good too.
Yeah.
Funnel cake topped with chocolate ice cream, chocolate cookie crumbs, gummy worms, and Billy chocolate piece. That would have just melted instantly. You would have just had a puddle in your funnel cake.
Yeah.
There was also an almond sweet corn cake, which is almond vanilla cake drizzled with icing topped with candy corn. The spellbinding fried pie, buffalo chicken, mozzarella, blue cheese wrapped in flaky dough topped with a candy eye and jalapeno ranch aioli.
Oh, interesting.
And this one does not sound good to me at all. The Pain and Panic hot dog. All beef hot dog, sweet and spicy onion relish, sriracha mustard, topped with spicy cheese flavored snacks.
I'm going to take a hard pass on that one.
One of the other things that we should also mention is there are allergy-friendly centers for trick-or-treating.
Yes.
So if you have somebody that has a food allergy, you can get a special teal-colored treat bag.
Yeah.
And when you go to the treat centers, you'll get an allergy-friendly snack.
Yes. It's really awesome that they take care of lots of people like that with different abilities and capabilities of consuming different candies.
Yeah.
So always good on Disney.
Yeah.
I will say it was impressive when we were trying to leave. I think we were around the front of the parade once it finally started, because I think that parade was late too.
Yeah.
And we beat it all the way around the hub up Main Street.
Yeah.
And then we got stuck in this circle
Yeah.
around the flagpole and basically had to wait out the entire parade.
Yep.
They were letting people go in big batches between parade floats every once in a while, but it was very clearly not set up for folks who were going to be slow or in an ECV. Like they were expecting you to run across the street, and they get like 150 people through, but you had to book.
Yeah, we would not have made that.
No, and we were ready to go, and that was a little frustrating. There is no good way to get out of the park if there's a parade going on, if you were coming from the Adventureland and Frontierland side of the park.
Yeah.
You're really kind of hosed.
Yeah, because you're cut off.
Right. If you're on Tomorrowland,
You're fine.
you're fine because you can get through on that side of Main Street, down the sidewalk. They make sure to have that open, if not that back causeway, which I think they had closed by that time of the night. But you can get down the sidewalk and then make it through over by Tony's Town Square restaurant and stuff like that and get out. But if you're coming from Frontier and Adventureland,
you either have to...
We would have had to go around. I don't know how we would have done it.
We would have had to double back and go behind the parade.
Right. Once it already passed, to get around back by the stage from the castle and then all the way up the other side. Anyhow, that was a little frustrating.
But leaving was very easy.
Yeah.
Other than that. Because we had to check the ECVs in.
Yeah.
And that was a very fast process.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was waiting for we are leaving at peak rush hour, which I never like doing.
Yeah.
And I was expecting this is going to take 30 minutes to check in the carts.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It was
very fast.
Super fast. And then we took the boat back to Grand Floridian. which I don't know.
It seemed to take a while for the boat to show up.
Yeah, I think they only had one running.
Yeah.
And it does a stop at Grand Floridian and then Polynesian and then back to pick up more people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they only had one boat on that loop, and they were suffering at that rush hour from that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a planning thing or if they were down a boat for various reasons, but that seemed like we had a very long wait for that boat to leave.
And we chose the boat specifically because we were told leaving the parks, that is the faster option.
Right. Rather than, because if you do the resort monorail, again, we're staying at Grand Floridian, or as I like to tell Sterling, it's the Fland Gloridian.
Mm-hmm.
The resort monorail goes the opposite direction. It goes Contemporary, Ticketing Center, Polynesian, and then here at the Grand Floridian. Versus the boat you get on, and the first stop is the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, I think a monorail still would have been a better choice because you're you're sitting down for longer, and for where we're staying, you do not have near as far of a walk once you get off.
Yeah, you're halfway.
Yep.
The DVC, this is a little out of the realm of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, but the DVC building at Grand Floridian is darn near in the backyard of the Polynesian.
Yes.
More than it is at the Grand Floridian. Yes. It's a little out of the way for things like the bus or a couple of the restaurants and things like that. Yeah. But we digress.
Yes. Oh, yes. We got a commemorative print leaving the park for the Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is awesome. It was really cool.
Yes.
It has it's for the 50th, so it has the castle on there and Mickey and friends, and then the big 50th logo on there as well.
Yeah.
So we each got one of those, so we have 3 of those now. We'll have to add to our Disney art collection that we have not yet framed.
Yes. More things that have yet to be hung up.
We have a lot. I still think I'd do another Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really enjoy these. I think if we do this again, I'd try to do more stuff.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't at a park beforehand, we were just really tired. I don't know what it was. Is combination of the heat and everything.
Yeah.
August is a horrible time of the year to come down here.
I can't wait to not have to travel in this, the school holiday schedule.
I'd love to be able to do this sometime late October. And just have it be a little bit cooler and be able to go around, see more characters, get more magic shots, stuff like that. Not necessarily do the rides, though the rides are fun.
Yeah.
But just to do the whole experience of everything.
I'm noticing on this trip, the rides are getting to me a little more than they used to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm finally perhaps getting ever so slightly older. And my tummy's like,
oh, really? Oh,
are you sure you want to keep doing Everest? Or
oh, man, I could have done Everest another couple of times. It was so fun. I love it.
I love Everest. Anyhow, we digress.
Yes.
We digress. So yeah, that is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, The Return.
The Return.
It's been 3 years.
Yes.
It's back. It's good to have it back. The Boo Bash last year was a thing, and it was lacking tremendously. And it was really great to have everything back in full force this year. It's so, so great to see. Plus, it's just another great opportunity for us to write down MNSSHP and then try to remember, what the heck is all that? Oh, yeah. Got it. So, yeah, the Halloween party. It's fun.
It is fun.
It's boo to you. Yeah, I will say, having sat in the circle for a half hour with the Halloween music from that parade, which is just a loop going through your head.
Yes.
I went to sleep last night with that thing just cycling endlessly through my brain.
I do like that song, though. At
least
it's catchy. Yes.
But after a half hour of it...
Happy Halloween.
Okay, we're stopping. We're stopping here.
We are not affiliated with Disney, and we are not travel agents, but we can offer our opinions and suggestions. We do recommend working with a travel agent to plan your perfect vacation, and they can get Halloween tickets for you, too.
Indeed they can. If you have any questions or suggestions, shoot us an email at podcast@adventuresandmousecapades.com. You could follow all of our adventures and social media at Our Mousecapades on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Please rate and review our podcast in your favorite app. That really helps people find us in the algorithm. TM, all capital. Yeah. It just helps.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a 5-star rating. I'm going to be the used car sales guy. Hey, give us a 5-star rating. Everything was great. All right, 5 stars, 5 stars.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Anyhow, we will be back with you next week, fresh off of the Disney Wish.
Yes.
And we will have a fresh, right off the griddle podcast for your ears that weekend. Or we'll record that weekend and we'll post overnight into Monday. And
our first impressions.
Our first impressions of the Wish. And very, very much looking forward to getting on board the Wish here in a couple days. Woo! Anyhow, so stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.
That's our
outro. No?
Bling.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.